Right now at 6, a state grant is helping districts all over Wisconsin with safety upgrades. We'll tell you how Janesville plans to keep students safer.
Chemicals found in firefighting foams and cookware are causing some concerns after they were found in 2 Madison wells. What's being done to keep the water safe?
This is News 3 at 6.
Thanks for joining us tonight. The Janesville School District is sharing its plans to keep classrooms safe.
District leaders are making safety improvements thanks to money from the state. Rock County reporter Adam Duxter joins us in our bureau at the Janesville Gazette with the details. Adam?
Well, the district is getting $420,000 in total, and school officials say that money is going to a very good cause.
In this day and age, any measures you can take to increase security is probably a good thing.
The school district of Janesville is taking extra measures thanks to a $420,000 grant. The money will go to reinforce glass in windows and doors, add more door monitors, and install more wireless lock systems at schools around the district. Leaders are also listening to what police want.
Schools, hospitals, they're made of brick and mortar. The radios don't transmit the best out of those.
So now, the schools are boosting transmitters in the building. District leaders also plan to add more radio lines that can connect them directly with police, which allows first responders to get to the scene sooner.
In my belief, we're cutting minutes, and minutes are going to make a huge difference.
The district says these changes are necessary to keep kids and faculty at Janesville schools safe.
How do we put a price on our greatest resource? Our kids are our greatest resource, so how do you put a price on that?
The changes will go into effect starting next school year, and school officials told me this won't change anything day to day at Janesville Public Schools.
Adam Duxter reporting tonight at our Rock County Bureau. Adam, thank you.
The Madison School District is setting a new list of goals after meeting many of the ones set 5 years ago. This time, the district is putting a focus on the success of African American students. Today, MMSD announced their new strategic framework after sharing their progress on graduation rates, elementary reading, and more students achieving a higher GPA. One of their new goals is to see Black students excel in school.
All of our faiths are linked. We believe in the brilliance, creativity, capability of Black youth in Madison. It is our responsibility to make sure that that excellence can shine.
Superintendent Cheatham says the district doesn't have all the solutions. They plan to partner with African American families and community members to come up with ways to break down the barriers standing in the way of Black excellence. Wisconsin's sales tax holiday starts tomorrow. You can buy things like clothes, computers, and school supplies without a tax. There are some rules, though. Clothing and school supply items cannot cost more than $75, and computers need to be less than $750.
The National Retail Association estimates that a typical family with kids in school-age kids, spends over $680 for the whole family on back-to-school clothing, supplies, all the other things that are part of that.
Governor Walker signed a bill this spring to create the one-time event. Democrats say it is an election year gimmick.
All right, let's check in now with Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti on a nice Tuesday. Couple of showers out there, Gary.
Yeah, mainly over the western parts of our viewing area today, and that's because there's a little more sunshine. Temperatures got a little warmer there, and so the atmospheric instability was a little higher out toward the La Crosse area. You can see this on visible cloud track over much of eastern Wisconsin. Some cirrus clouds that moved northward out of Illinois into eastern portions of the state held temperatures down into the upper 70s, whereas areas to the west and north had more sunshine and temperatures were a little bit warmer there. And you can see on Doppler track a couple of showers and thunderstorms mainly over southwestern Wisconsin. These are already starting to die down as they drift toward the south and southwest into eastern Iowa, and not expecting much in the way of precipitation after the next hour or two. Low temperatures this morning started out in the lower to middle 50s, pretty comfortable. Those temperatures warmed up into the upper 70s here in Madison. We're as warm as we've been all day at 80 degrees, but notice it's warmer to the north and west. La Crosse right now at 87, Black River Falls at 85. Dew point temperatures upper 50s here in Madison, but they are a little higher to our southeast and also to our west. So with time, that will lead to more thunderstorm development tomorrow. In fact, look for low temperatures tonight to drop into the upper 50s, lower 60s. Highs tomorrow should be in the lower 80s with partly sunny skies, but we will see some showers and thunderstorms later in the afternoon. That's your first alert forecast.
Gary, thank you. Day 2 of the murder trial of 54-year-old John Hammond of Middleton, accused of killing his landlord in April of last year. 82-year-old Agnes Bram was found brutally beaten in her garage at her home in the 7100 block of University Avenue. Today, the Dane County Medical Examiner testified about the severe nature of the injuries to her head with a blunt object that caused her death.
These lacerations had become confluent or joined up with each other. Underneath, there were obvious skull fractures that had broken through the skin and were visible, and that there was damage to the brain underneath as well.
Hammond faces a first-degree intentional homicide charge. He was renting a room from Bram in her home at the time of that murder. That trial expected to last at least through the end of the week. And this man, Michael Wagner, will spend 12 years in prison along with 10 years extended supervision. He pleaded guilty to stabbing a woman on the Far East Side back in March. The woman involved did survive the attack. Federal
immigration officers are increasing their presence in the Madison area. Dane County Sheriff Dave Mahoney tells News 3 he was contacted a few weeks ago by an ICE officer assigned to Madison. That program is part of a crackdown on immigration, a focus of President Trump's administration. Sheriff Mahoney says the program by ICE does the opposite of what his deputies do every day and takes away the county's resources to focus on something the federal government should do itself.
Because my mission as a local law enforcement agency, as a county sheriff's office charged with overall public safety in my community, is first to build trust in that community and carry out the duties and demands that the community has told me are their priorities, and that's what I do.
Mahoney says the Dane County Jail doesn't notify ICE of inmates' immigration status, but the agency can actually identify illegal immigrants through the FBI's National Criminal Intelligence Center. The center receives fingerprints obtained during the booking process.
Madison Water Utilities sending out a precautionary warning of contaminants found in your drinking water coming from one of its wells. It has tested all 22 wells in Madison numerous times and found commonly used chemicals in 2 of them, but only one is gaining a bit more attention. Our Jamie Perez learned more about what was found and what it all means.
Perfluorinated compounds are not something new. You know, they've been around. They're found in the air that we breathe and the packaging that our food can come in, but now they're even found in our own drinking water. It's standard that your drinking water is tested to make sure that you have access to clean, healthy fluids. Madison's water utility tested all 22 of its wells and found a trace amount of perfluorinated compounds here at well 15. Amy says not to worry just yet.
The EPA doesn't regulate perfluorinated compounds in drinking water yet, but they do have kind of a health advisory goal that's been set at about double what we found at 0.07 parts per billion.
She thinks these compounds may have come from the Truax airfield or from old landfills decades ago and finally made their way back into the water you may be drinking today.
It's not an immediate concern, but it's something that we're looking at.
So the question is, are you affected? This map can be found on their website and shows the areas of Madison that use well 15. It's color-coded to show which areas use it most.
I'm glad this is on the news because otherwise people really have heard very little about it unless you're subscribing to Water Utility News.
David here is the alder for the district most affected. Although it's something to monitor,
it's 0.03 of a billionth of a part, which doesn't mean that it's not harmful, but it's something that has to build up and up and up in one's body and the water supply for it to be a substantial threat.
Just something to keep an eye and ear out for while they continue testing to see what exactly is happening and hopefully can prevent the levels of contaminants from increasing.
It's hard because we want to be transparent and we want to talk to people about what's happening with their water. And we don't want to concern people, but we feel like, people have a right to know.
In Madison, Jamie Perez, WISC News 3.
If you have questions or concerns about this finding, Madison Water Utility encourages you to contact them with any questions you might have.
Old buildings are providing new opportunities for Madison firefighters.
How these boarded up buildings could help you during an emergency. That's next on News 3 at 6.
There's a new public database to track sex offenses in Wisconsin. People can view the number and rate offenses in each county and whether weapons were used. It'll also share victim and offender demographics and relationships between victims and offenders. The data will cover between 2013 and 2017. You can find a link to the database website by visiting the links section of channel3000.com.
Madison firefighters are bettering their skills today. They got to practice vertical ventilation tactics, which allows them to release heat and smoke that gets trapped during fires. They were able to test their skills on buildings set to be demolished. Madison firefighters typically train at Madison College. They say today was really a golden opportunity since these buildings at Madison College they don't change.
We don't always have an opportunity, not only just to get on the roof so that people can feel, train on, wearing their air packs and their gear up on a steep pitch like this, but also to actually cut. We throw ladders a lot at MATC, but we don't have the ability to actually cut and feel what it feels like to be up there running a saw with an air pack and gear on.
The buildings were located along the 700 block of East Johnson. The division chief says the department has a lot of new hires, and that adds to the importance of today's training.
There's another way for you to help the victims of the deadly Sun Prairie gas explosion. Every ticket to Yum Yum Fest sold through midnight tonight will be matched dollar for dollar by Breeze Stevens Field and the Madison Mallards. The money will be donated to the Sunshine Place. Today marks 3 weeks since the gas explosion in Sun Prairie. It destroyed several buildings downtown. Corey Barr, a fire captain with the Sun Prairie Fire Department, died in that explosion. We have a list of all the ways you can help the victims of the explosion online at channel3000.com.
Still to come, Madison, the place to be this week if you're a fan of the CrossFit Games.
What you need to know about this year's competition is next at 6.
Any lingering showers and thunderstorms will end early this evening. Tomorrow we'll see them pop up in the afternoon and evening. That'll lead to cooler weather for Thursday, but a big warm-up's on the way for the weekend. I'll have your first alert forecast in a few minutes.
The CrossFit Games start tomorrow.
Hundreds of athletes and thousands of people are expected in Madison this week. 560 elite athletes from 32 different countries are competing in different strength and fitness events. Some are vying for the title fittest in the world. The general manager of the Games says CrossFit is unlike anything else.
What it is, it's just the best of all those things wrapped into a very simple package that anybody in the world can do. So it's a combination of weightlifting, gymnastics, and sprinting activities, but it's done in a way in local affiliated gyms where even though you might be a world-class couch potato, they'll dose it so it's the right workout for that day and put you on a track to get better over time.
The Games run tomorrow through Saturday. In addition to the competition, there are other interactive events going on, some of them kid-friendly. We have a list of them on our website, channel3000.com.
Gary and I plan to compete next year, perhaps. We're hoping
the year after, or maybe
never. But hopefully all these folks coming into town get a pretty good forecast.
Yeah, temperatures should be pretty comfortable. It'll be a little cooler on Thursday, so I think that might help things out with cloud cover, and then the heat starts to build as we head into the weekend. Now, looking farther into the future, Climate Prediction Center has released its new monthly outlook for the month of August, and it is calling for above normal temperatures through much of the country with equal chances of above or below normal temperatures centered over the northern plains and into far northwestern Wisconsin. About a 35% chance of above normal temperatures here. However, the 3-month temperature trend, this takes from August through September and October, calling pretty much for the same type of forecast with higher probabilities of above normal temperatures out west and also in the northeastern portion of the country. Again, equal chances of above or below normal temperatures around Minnesota and North Dakota. As far as precipitation is concerned, equal chances through much of the country. A lot of times in the summer, it's hard to pick out areas unless there's a signal like from more hurricanes or something. Southwestern part of the country, maybe a little better chance of above normal precipitation and perhaps through the Carolinas, but below normal precipitation expected over Texas, and pretty much the same trend in the August, September, and October time period. Equal chances through much of the country, above normal precipitation out west and along the east coast, and below normal precipitation through the southwestern part, or the Texas, and also the far northwestern part of the country. Around here, a couple of thunderstorms popped up this afternoon. They're already starting to die down as they drift southward through mainly Grant County. Otherwise, much of Wisconsin pretty much precipitation free. Now, there are some showers and storms up to the north that could bring some severe weather to parts of northern Minnesota, at least an isolated strong to severe thunderstorm according to the Storm Prediction Center. But tomorrow, that marginal risk of severe thunderstorms shifts into southern Wisconsin, so we can't rule out an isolated stronger storm with gusty winds and perhaps some heavy downpours as the main threats. Live view from the Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville. A little more cloud cover in Grant County. The showers and thunderstorms still moving through there. WISC Skycam looking off toward the northeast shows partly cloudy skies and some sunshine in the downtown Madison area on the Edgewater Skycam. Some hazy sunshine on the Capitol. High today 80 degrees, low temperature 52. So high temperature about normal, low temperature a little bit below normal. And right now we're at 80 degrees with north-northeasterly winds at 3 miles per hour. Dew point temperature pretty comfortable at 57 degrees. Current temperatures are actually warmer in the northern part of the state where there's been more sunshine. Temperatures low to mid 80s there. Here in southern Wisconsin, upper 70s to around 80 degrees. As we look at weather tracking, you can see the reason why. A little more cloud cover here. That's keeping temperatures down. Where the sun is shining more, that's where temperature is a little bit warmer. And out to the west, plenty of clear skies across Nebraska and Kansas. Some of that warm air will reach us tomorrow before this front, which right now is stationary, turns into a cold front and then drops southeastward. North of that front, notice International Falls, Minnesota at 76. Temperatures in the 60s just north of the U.S.-Canadian border, but mainly in the 80s out ahead of that front. Dew point temperatures, upper 50s. We might get up into the 60s as that front approaches. That will lead to some shower and thunderstorm chances tomorrow afternoon. So things will die down for tonight, but tomorrow those showers and storms will reach us later in the afternoon into tomorrow evening. The clouds, though, may linger into Thursday. That'll keep temperatures down. And then as we head into Friday, those skies clear out and those temperatures jump right back up into the lower 80s on Friday and perhaps close to 90 by the weekend. For tonight, look for a low of 60. Slight chance of an evening shower or thunderstorm west of Madison, otherwise partly cloudy. For tomorrow, a high of 81. It'll be warm with showers and thunderstorms developing later in the afternoon. On future track, you can see things pretty quiet overnight once those showers and storms die down. Low of around 60. Tomorrow, the showers and storms develop in the afternoon with highs in the lower 80s. Those will continue tomorrow evening. The clouds continue overnight with maybe some patchy fog. Lows of around 60. And then shower and just a slight chance of showers on Thursday with more clouds keeping high temperatures in the lower 70s. Rainfall amounts loss, 1/4 to 1/2 inch unless you get caught under a heavier shower or thunderstorm. 7 to 10 day forecast, though, those temperatures bounce right back up on Friday to the lower 80s, upper 80s, close to 90 for the weekend. Some thunderstorm chances early next week, and then toward the end of next week.
The Brewers make a deal at the trading deadline, and they get another infielder. The story's coming up in sports.
Hi, I'm Michelle Carolla. Tonight on the news at 9, the so-called fittest people on earth will compete in the CrossFit Games tomorrow. How the athletes are preparing for the competition, that's first on Fox at 9.
It looked like the Brewers might get shut out on the final flurry at the Major League Baseball trading deadline, but at the last minute, right around 3 o'clock, they made a significant deal for something they seem to have a lot of already, an infielder. The Brewers get Jonathan Schoop from the Baltimore Orioles for Jonathan Villar and prospects Luis Ortiz and Gene Carmona. It's spelled S-C-H-O-O-P, but it's pronounced Schoop. 14 homers, 40 RBI for the Orioles so far this season. He's played mainly second base, but could end up playing shortstop for the Brewers. And Jonathan Schoop traded to the Brewers this afternoon. Other deadline deals, the Cubs got Brandon Kintzler, the Pirates got Chris Archer, the Dodgers got Brian Dozier, and the Braves got Kevin Gausman. Now, the players the Brewers have had lately are doing pretty well on this road trip. Eric Thames hit a 3-run homer to lead them to a 5-2 win last night in Los Angeles. The Brewers are 4-1 on their road trip so far to San Francisco and Los Angeles. They'll play the Dodgers tonight again at 9:10. Wade Miley and Walker Buehler are tonight's starting pitchers. All-star Christian Yelich has been red hot, and look at that. He is now the batting average leader in the National League, tied percentage points-wise, but just ahead of former Brewer Scooter Gennett, who now plays for the Reds. The Packers continue training camp practices, working toward their family night practice, which is this Saturday night at Lambeau Field. There seems like there should have been an announcement of a contract extension for Aaron Rodgers already, but so far there has been no announcement. General Manager Brian Gutekunst was asked today if we should be concerned that a final agreement hasn't been worked out yet.
No updates. Russ and Dave Dunn are working on it. I think everybody kind of still feels the same like we always have, that we want to get something done, but there's just a time element to it. I wouldn't put any timelines on it, I just, as long as everybody's working towards the same goal, I think, we feel positive about it.
The high school football season kind of started today as they handed out equipment a lot of places, with the first practices beginning tomorrow. Our Prep Mania Game of the Week returns for a 12th season. Our first game is August 17th when Sun Prairie plays at Madison Memorial. That's on TBW and online on channel3000.com. Badger football season begins tomorrow. It's Media Day, followed by Family Fun Day at 6 at Camp Randall, where you can get autographs and meet the Badger players and coaches. Practices begin Thursday as we work toward the season opener, August 31st against Western Kentucky. And head coach Paul Christ is ready to go, says the players are too.
Yeah, I like the way the group approaches things. I think the group likes playing football. I think they like each other. And I think we've got some guys that are talented. Now we've got to put it all together, and certainly we've got, we had a good senior class, and, guys have left and gone on for new opportunities, and that creates other opportunities for some younger kids. And so you're looking forward to helping them be the best they can be so that we can kind of fill some of those natural gaps by graduation.
And the Bucks announced our preseason schedule today, which normally isn't a big deal, but now we know the first ever game at new Fiserv Forum will be played Wednesday, October 3rd, when the Chicago Bulls come to Milwaukee. The first event of the new Fiserv Forum is a public celebration Sunday, August 26th, so we can see what $500 million buys you in the housing market these days.
So probably a few more moves maybe around baseball?
Yeah, today's a deadline for non-waivers, so if a guy clears through waivers, some big deals have been made after today, but this is a landmark day, so we'll see what happens.
Fun to see what happens. All right, Gary, final check.
Right now, a couple of showers and thunderstorms over far southwestern Wisconsin, dying out pretty quickly. Temperatures upper 70s to around 80, but look for those temperatures to warm back up after a cool day on Thursday. We'll be in the upper 80s for the weekend and mid to upper 80s for most of next week as well.
All right, Gary, thank you. And thanks for joining us for News 3 at 6.
Have a great evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.
Download the new Channel 3000 app and get alerted on your mobile device the minute news breaks. Wherever you go, be the first to know with Channel 3000.